It was a bright and beautiful morning on the island of Sodor.
"Look out! The express is coming through,"
said Gordon, the big blue engine, happily.
"You look very proud today," said Edward.
"Oh, of course, my dear Edward,"
replied Gordon.
"I am the strongest and the best after all."
"Strongest and the best?" James retorted. "Who needs those big engines anyways?" "Oh, come on, James," said Thomas. "He's big, strong, and reliable too. He can pull the express really fast, unlike any of the other engines." Just then Henry puffed in. My, said Henry. "What is going on here? I heard someone was talking about Gordon being the best big blue engine on the island of Sodor and can pull the express really well." "Oh, Henry," said Gordon, "everyone is talking about it. Everyone except Rusty Red Scrap Iron James. He thinks I'm not really splendid and reliable, but boastful." "Ha ha ha ha!" laughed Henry. "Don't listen to James. He doesn't know what he's talking about." Before James could say anything, Percy puffed up, looking worried. "There was a big, huge tender engine right on the island of Sodor just last night, and I saw him, and he's huge." The others were surprised and cross. "Disgraceful," said Gordon. "Nonsense," added Edward. "Disgusting," James put in. "Despicable," replied Henry. Thomas could not believe what Percy had said. A big tender engine came to Sodor last night? Before anyone could say another word, they heard a whistle that sounded like this. But then they were all in for a big surprise. It was the big tender engine, and it was so huge! The engines were all amazed and surprised. "Oh my God!" they all said. "Just look at him!" It came closer and closer and closer until it came to a stop just in front of Thomas's buffers, blocking his path. "Hello there, want to talk?" "No!" screamed the engines, and they all ran away from the big tender engine as fast as they could, all except Thomas, who was stuck in front of him. "Hey, you! What do you do here on the island of Sodor? And who's that behind you? Those two coaches." Frightened, Thomas finally managed to speak. Those are Annie and Clarabelle," he said. "Those are my coaches." "Your coaches? I see. I wasn't sure, but I was wondering if you would like to take some passengers with me today. I was looking for some coaches, but there was none. Will yous help me find some coaches to pull?" "Why, sure," said Thomas happily. He felt much better now. "But first," said the engine, "I'll couple you up, and then you can push me to where I can find some coaches." Soon, Thomas and the big engine were puffing along the main line. "You see, I could find some coaches for you." "Oh, thank you," replied the big engine. When the day's work was done, the two engines parted ways, and Thomas headed home for Tidmouth Sheds. "Oh my gosh," he said. "I guess that engine could be big, strong, and powerful, but I don't know if he's more powerful than Gordon," he thought to himself. Just as he rounded a bend, something unexpected happened. Out of nowhere, his new friend came flying overhead. Thomas could not believe his eyes. "Cinders and ashes!" he cried. "How does he do that?" The big engine raced over Thomas. "Wait! Look at me! I can fly like a bird in the sky! Yahoo!" An engine that can fly in the sky like a bird, or a plane, or a helicopter? I must tell everyone about this, Thomas said. "Well, goodbye, Thomas. So long," said the big boy. Thomas raced to the engine shed as fast as he could. When he arrived, he saw Percy was still awake. Where on earth have you been? Where on earth have you been? Said Percy, looking very worried. Well, Percy, you won't believe this, but that engine that ran away, Percy, you won't believe this, but that engine you ran away from earlier today was the engine that could fly in the sky like a bird, plane, or helicopter, he exclaimed. I'll tell you the rest tomorrow, he said, and went happily to sleep. The other engines had overheard and began to talk about the engine who could fly in the sky. An engine who could fly? Said James crossly. That's not possible. Engines can't fly.
Well, said Edward, it was either his imagination or it was real. But alas, who knows? As Thomas drifted off to sleep, he dreamed of the engine that could fly, and we all know his name.
Big Boy.